Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This is where you get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock, with news that dairy prices fell again early this morning in the latest auction. This fall was 7.4% in US dollar terms, 6.3% in New Zealand dollar terms. Milk powders fell 8%. The fall was not a market surprise, however, as it had been well signalled in the NZX derivatives market, but it was slightly larger than expected. The kiwi dollar fell immediately after the results were posted, although it has clawed back about half the fall since. This is the second consecutive fall following 4 very strong consecutive rises. Overall prices have retraced to where they were in September and are probably still below where they need to be for economic dairy farming for many of the businesses. Elsewhere, the American car industry is on track for a record year of annual sales as the top car makers reported October sales that far exceeded expectations. However, US general factory shipments nationwide in September were disappointing, dropping for a second straight month. Speaking of car companies, Volkswagen's cheating is proving even more deeper than originally reported. The US EPA has said a much wider range of vehicles are involved, with more defeat software found than has been admitted to. The icon SUV Porsche Cayenne and various Audi models are now involved. An interesting note on a Chinese website shows that New Zealand is now the third largest exporter of food to that country after the EU and the US, and well ahead of Australia, who is 6th. We are playing in a trade with some very large rivals here. And staying in China, their president has said that 6.5% growth is now their bottom line. That level is needed, he said, to double average income by 2020 over 2010 levels. It might be a tough ask as their economy slows as it transitions to a consumer-led basis. In New York today, the US Treasury 10-year yield benchmark rose further and is now at 2.2%. Markets are starting to believe a rate hike is coming from the Fed in December. New Zealand swap rates rose in sympathy yesterday and will probably do so again today. Rate rise noises are also coming from the UK. The US benchmark oil price has also risen today, now at $47 a barrel, and Brent benchmark is now at $50 a barrel. However, the gold price has fallen sharply, now at $1,118 an ounce. New Zealand dollar starts lower today on the dairy auction results at 66.8 US cents, 93.1 Aussie cents and 61 euro cents. The TWI is at 71.9. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.